Wow. So I just made this whole video and I realized I said a major clue that like you wouldn't even need the book to find this. So I have to start over again. Um, my name is Randy, and I did agree to release something about the token if I hit 26 reviews. Well, I had 6 reviews at the time, and I said 20 more reviews on Amazon. So I can't believe I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh my God, did I just say that? And I thought, well, I could edit it out, and because I've already talked for like 20 minutes, I thought, no, I'll do it and I'll make it shorter. But I do want to do a shout out to Toby at A Gypsy's Kiss. I did get my coin, and that's going to start off the discussion here. The coin was a proof Eisenhower dollar, sterling silver, 1 ounce of silver. And I love stuff like that. And this was a proof coin. I don't have many proof coins. I used to collect coins, and I stopped doing it because it was just too obsessive. I had every penny from like 1870, 1880, all the way to the present day, with the exception of the SVD, the expensive one, the one that cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And I sold my pennies, and I had like a whole bunch of other stuff. I had like original Eisenhower dollars, and I had Kennedy half dollars, and I had all this stuff from like around the world. And I gave it all to my niece, and because she was always interested in that stuff. So I did give that away. But I did come across some coins that I was antiquing about 15. This is before Michael Stafford's hunt, because I was carrying with me then. So it's hard to say exactly how long. Oh, and this is really worn. These were like beautiful coins when I started, and they're, like I said, I just noticed how worn the back of this is. But these are 2 silver dollars, and I have a Morgan, a Liberty, and a Morgan, and one's 1921 and one's 1922. And there we go. And I've been carrying these coins with me, like I said, for a long, long time. My intention was, when I found the snail, I was going to leave these in the tree. And these are silver. They're worth about 40 bucks each. And I got them in the bargain box for like 30 bucks. But they're in really nice shape. They're in better shape, because when you get to the bargain box, normally you find the smooth ones, the ones you can't read the dates on. But these were, I mean, especially this one. This one is in really nice shape. And this one actually caused an argument at a flea market. I was looking at this one booth, and it had just a lot, it's a flea market, so it's like a garage sale. It has a whole bunch of used stuff. And this guy was just kind of rude. And I'd come around to one of his display cases, and he's got a Morgan dollar in there for $600. And I just kind of went, oh my God, dude, why do you think this coin's worth $600? He goes, that's a Morgan dollar, it's worth $600. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's worth about 20, 30 at the time. And he's like, no, it's worth $600. And I'm like, dude, that's worn. You can barely read the date on it. And he goes, that's silver. And I'm like, you're obviously not a coin collector. You should probably Google this coin and adjust your price, because I don't know, you might sell it to a sucker or something, but that coin is not worth $600. And I pulled this out of my pocket, and I was like, look at this one's in so much nicer shape. You can read the date. You can see all the stars on the back. I mean, it's in really good shape. And I said, this was 30 bucks, and this is in way better shape than your coin. He's like, no, it's mine worth $600. And I'm just like, dude, okay. And while I was doing that, a guy came up and was standing next to me and was kind of like watching the conversation. And he's like, he's right, dude. I don't know why you think this coin is worth $600, but it's worth about 20 or 30. And the guy started arguing with him. And then another guy came up, and the whole time I'm like showing him this, and a guy offered me $100 for it. And I'm like, no, I can't sell it. It's what I carry around with me. And by the time it was over, there was like 4 or 5 people standing there arguing with this guy, and this guy was arguing with every single one of them. But no, that coin is worth $600, and that's what I'll get for it, and I won't sell it for any less. And they were kind of like laughing at him, and I felt bad for the guy, but it's like, why would you get locked into, a simple Google search will show you what that's worth. But the reason I started carrying these, and it's kind of a superstition, is in case I die. And if I die, you need 2 pieces of silver to pay the ferryman across the river Styx. And so yeah, it was like, I started carrying them, and then the only time I don't carry them is when I go antiquing. I'll take them out and I'll leave them in the car because I don't want to be accused of shoplifting these from somebody's booth. It's just a paranoia I have. And another thing, like if I'm wearing sweatpants or something, doing yard work, or I don't carry them at that point because they could fall out of my pocket easily. But coming to work, if you ever see me at a meetup or something, say, hey, I challenge you, show me your coins. I'm like, yeah, I always have them on me. And it's gotten bigger because I did buy this, and the date is wrong because they didn't make these in 1921, but it's a copper replica, and it's like the 99% pure copper of the Lady Liberty, and so I started carrying that too. So I started carrying all these 3 around, and I'm not even sure where I got this, but this is a stone. It's just like what you would get in a touristy gift shop, and I don't know if you can see on there, it says dream, and the dream has literally rubbed off. There's hardly anything left of the dream, but I think that's why the back is rubbing off of this one. And if I cared about the value, I probably wouldn't do that, but so I got those, and then I carry my sigil. I'm not even sure I show you this, but on the back, it has my name engraved. And the chain is not quite big enough to go around my neck, and I probably will get this on a necklace, but I need a copper chain to match the copper of the sigil. And so yeah, I started carrying all this stuff around, and I carry it with me everywhere I go. So what does this have to do with the token? Well, if you take these 3 coins, you get a nice little stack, and it's a nice size. That's about how big the token is. And but that's not what I was going to tell you about the token. When I got the token, I got it. I was actually looking for this. It's like a dog tag, and it has it has all my information on the back, and it's got a picture on the front, and I just took my keys. I was just kind of looking for something like that, and I saw one that had a compass on it, and so it was just a round tag with a compass. It's the raised enamel. And the compass matched the compass that's at the grotto, and it's just pure coincidence because it's a common design, but it matches the compass that's embedded in the cement at the Grotto of the Redemption here in Iowa. And I'm going to rave for a minute here. The Grotto of the Redemption, I've been all over the world. I've been through cathedrals in Europe and cathedrals in England. I lived in England for 3 years. I've been all over the states. I've been in the Rockies. I've been in all 48 of the lower states. And I've been through the Rockies. I've been to some of the best museums. But the Grotto of the Redemption here in Iowa, in West Bend, Iowa, is probably one of the most fantastic places I've ever seen with my eyes. And I went there with the intention of kind of like, and this is before blogging, before YouTube. I was just doing forum posts, and I went there with the intention of reviewing it on the forum. And I thought, well, I'll go here and make fun of it. And I got there, and I was blown away. And it's like 80 miles from me now, and I still try to go there at least a couple times a summer. But I am just blown away by this place. It is the most fantastic place I've ever visited in the world. And I think it's one of the 7 wonders of the world, but no one's ever heard of it. So if you ever are in Iowa, even if you're just going on I-80, it's worth the time to get off I-80 and go up to West Bend and see the Grotto of the Redemption. You will not be disappointed. Anytime someone visits me, I've had people like from Canada and England visit me, and like, we're going to see the Grotto. And they walk away. They're usually on the drive home, they're just silent. They're like, I've never seen anything like that before. and there's no describing it. It's one of those places you can't describe. It's like House on the Rock. You know, I've been to House on the Rock. That's probably the second most fantastic thing I've ever seen. But yeah, so that's why I bought the compass, because it looked like the compass that was embedded there. And so I did find a spot, and I put that, and this is years before I even wrote the book, and I put the, I had it engraved with my information on the back, and there's a serial number and contact information that still exists. And I put it in this spot that I found. I thought, that's a perfect place. I said, if I ever do a treasure hunt, this is where I'm leading people to. And I can point out to people how to get there, and there it is. And so I left it for a couple days, and I came back, and I wanted to see, like, I was trying to be casual. I could spot it, like the way the sun was. So, I don't know if it was cloudy when I hit it the first time, but it just stood out. I'm like, whoa, that's, you know, because it's chrome, you know, bright shiny chrome with this compass on the front. I said, wow, that's too much. Someone's going to spot that and say, hey, wonder what that is. Go and look at it. So I took a bunch of pictures of where it is, and I went to Hobby Lobby, and I went to their big display of, you know, they have a big display of modeling paints, you know, the little tester jars, and I found a jar that matched perfectly the surroundings. So I took that home, and I roughed up the chrome a little bit, and I painted it, and I painted the back, and I put a little piece of rubber on it to protect it, to protect the engraving on the back. So I was just worried it would get weathered. I mean, I literally think this will be out there long enough that it might get weathered. And then I took it back out. I painted the rubber too. And I took it back out, and I put it back in there. And I went back a couple days later, and I'm walking along trying to be casual. I'm like, I can't see it. I thought it was gone. And I walked up, and I'm like, no, it's still there. And I checked it like in the morning. I went and checked it in the evening. I went and checked it with a flashlight, and I'm like, it's practically invisible. And that's why it's been there for so long. And you know, like I said, it's about this big, and I can walk by, and the last time I checked it, it was like dusk. No, it was really early in the morning, and I was walking up there, and I'm like, I don't see it. And I had to put my hand out, like, oh, there it is. I could feel it. And, you know, that's why my clues will lead you to within inches, because if you're not within inches of it, you're just not going to see it. But it's right there. I mean, you can see it with your eyes once you know it's there. It's not hidden, like, behind anything, but you can see it as you walk up to it. So that's what I was going to tell. Like I said, this doesn't have anything to do with any of the ciphers in the book. It won't help you with any clues. I didn't want to give you any hints on that. I have one other thing going for that. 500 copies of my book. I think I'm up to 368 when I checked. I checked Monday, I think. But there hasn't been any sales since then. So, but I did say if I hit 26, which is there was 6 at the time, and I said 20 more, so 26 reviews on Amazon. And I said they don't have to be good reviews, just be a review. And be honest about what you think of it. And I know in the chat tonight, the K-Pro was like, yeah, I will be honest about it. I'm like, I know what she's going to say. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The token is about this big. It's camouflage, basically. But it's right there. And it does have the front with a compass on it. And so that's what the token looks like. That's how it's hidden, and that's how no one has been able to stumble across it. Or and I think it's safe, and I might take another trip this summer. I don't think I checked. Did I check on it last summer? Yeah, last summer is when I did the Valentine Goose trip, and that was fine. So I don't know. I don't want to keep checking on it. Everyone knows my car. It's, you know, the big green Element with Tinkerbells all over it. So, you know, if you see that driving around, you'll know that I'm in the general vicinity. But yeah, I might go check on it. And I know I've had so many people like write me say, "Hey, I know where your clue is, but it wasn't there." And I'm like, "Dude, I know it's there." And I can, the spot where this is hidden, I found this out probably 6 months ago, that there is a traffic cam. And if I get on this traffic cam, and if it's clear, if it's raining, like droplets get on the traffic cam, or if it's dark, it's foggy. But if it's a clear day on the traffic cam, I can verify that where the token is still there and in perfect shape. So don't write me and say, "Hey, dude, I was there and it's gone. You know, the whole place was gone. It was torn down." I'm like, "Sorry, dude, it's not." But yeah, and if you ever see me, say, "Hey, you got those silver coins on you?" I don't always carry the copper coin. Don't always carry the rock. And I don't always carry my sigil. But yeah, if you see me and I got pants on, I most likely have these 2 coins. And I don't know if you can hear this, but if you take them, and sometimes I'll be sitting alone and I'm waiting for somebody and I'll be dinging these things, and you can't hear it with the phone, but I can ding it and put it up by my ear and it'll just ring for seconds, you know, it'll just keep going and going and going. And if someone, it's always fun when someone says, "Hey, let's flip a coin." I'm like, "Oh man, I got the coin to flip." These are perfect flipping coins. I believe in the original Batman, Two-Face had a Morgan dollar, but his had a Morgan face on both sides, and of course one was all scratched up, and that's what he used. That was his dollar that he flipped. And of course Batman brought, when he fought him, he brought a whole pocket full of Morgan dollars, and when he went to flip it, he threw all the Morgan dollars at him, and Two-Face couldn't find his dollar. And I thought, oh, that was kind of clever. That's kind of a Batman thing to do. But anyway, that's it. You wanted to know? Well, you probably didn't want to know, but that's what I said I would reveal about the token if I reach 26 reviews, and we're currently at 24, so I imagine in the next day or two it's gonna reach 26. It does take a few days. You know, when you post it, they got to make sure there's no swear words or anything in it, so that it goes through like a review process, and then it gets posted by Amazon. So yep, I'll post this in a few days, and that is the deal with the token. So that's why it's important to know that when you solve this, it'll take you to within inches of it, and then you can't miss it. Because if you're not within inches of it, you're probably not going to see it. So anyway, that's it, and I'm going to sign off. I've got to set up a parallel port for an old printer, for an old program that they refuse to get rid of, and this is really going to be a headache. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to get this to run on Windows 10. It's just going to be fun. So anyway, we'll let you guys go, and I guess that's it. Still wearing my cool watch, and I'm going to have a nice long night. So take care, and I hope this was informative.